Israel right now is been attacking the Islamic Jihad in Gaza. And most people don't know what the Islamic Jihad is and what they plan to do. And so if you read newspapers, you're going to see that some newspapers say, you know, Israel has eliminated, I think at this point there are about 15 of them, of these Islamic heads, Islamic jihads that have been sent from Tehran, from Iran, for the purpose of causing so much terror and destruction in Israel. And then eventually, of course, the Palestinians can take over. That was the plan. And for those that don't know, tonight starts TISHA BE AV, the 9th of Av. Okay, the 9th of Av tonight, meaning from tonight until tomorrow night, is the 9th day of the month of Av. The month of Av is the 5th month of the Hebrew calendar. Av means father. And it's interesting that in this 9th day of Av, which falls between today, the 6th of August in the evening until 7th of August, but every year it changes, according to the calendar. It's the time when both temples were destroyed. Both temples. At the time of the Spanish Inquisition started. So many horrible disasters have happened to the people of Israel on the 9th of Av. Our ministry globally announced a fast and a prayer time of 21 days. Everybody's fasting in different ways. Some people are doing Daniel, some people no pleasant bread, some people total fast, some people partial, intermittent fast. All kinds of different fasts are being done during these 21 days until tomorrow night, for the purpose of overturning the wicked plans of Haman against Israel. Because we already knew that he had planned something towards the 9th of Av for the purpose of overthrowing Israel. Well, before the 9th of Av came, the Israeli IDF has attacked the heads of those Islamic jihadists in Gaza and eliminated quite many of them. As I said, 15 to 19 right now, I believe they were all Islamic Jihad. They've eliminated them, and in this way preventing the catastrophe and the calamity that was planned for the 9th of Av, which is for tonight until tomorrow. So it was anticipated. Praise Yah, so that's really answered prayer. Yeah. And I would like to sing a song that's connected with what's happening in Israel right now. It's not like this is the first operation we've done against terrorism in Gaza. But this one has a very particular name. It's called The Rising of the Dawn. Now I know that it's translated in many of your newspapers, the crack of dawn or the breaking of the dawn, which is true. I mean, because when light comes in, it breaks, you know, through the dawn. But in Hebrew is Alut HaShachar, and Alut HaShachar means the rising of the dawn. It reminds me of what is written in Malachi. In the Hebrew is chapter 3, in the English translations, the variety of them that are not messianic is chapter 4, and it says that that the wicked will be stubble and ashes under the sole of our feet, and at the same time the Son of Righteousness will arise with healing in his wings. And so it describes a rising of the dawn. I mean, literally in that one, as it talks about those that fear, but to you that fear my name, the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in his wings. Not wings, but actually it talks about KNAFEHA, which is the four corners of the garment that carry the TSITTSIT, or the place of the covenant and the place of the commandment. So it's very profound that before the 9th of Av, which is a day of so much destruction for Israel, actually the enemy is being destroyed. And so we need to be praying, though, that the Israeli civilians are protected from the Qassam rockets that are falling on the people and on the south of Israel, the Negev of Israel. Some of them are already in bomb shelters in the south of Israel, in the Negev of Israel. But thank Yah that nobody's been hurt on the Israeli side. And the only couple of people that were actually hurt were because they panicked. I'll tell you the truth, panic can kill more people than the Qassam rockets. So, gotta pray against that panic. Israel, Israel, you have risen from the dead, from the ashes of the Shoah. Shoah is Holocaust. Israel, Israel, you will live again in His power and in His land. Oh, why do the nations rage against Yah's covenant? They make shrewd plans afresh to wipe you off the map. Israel, Israel, you have risen from the dead, from the ashes of the Shoah. Israel, Israel, you will live again in His power and in His land. Oh, why do the nations rage against Yah's covenant? Yet Israel will prevail in the power of YESHUA'S blood, in the power of YESHUA'S love, in the power of YESHUA'S blood. Israel will prevail, though the enemy tries to destroy her. They will not succeed, for Yahweh has a covenant forevermore. Mantle of mercy, Yotalit of Rachamim. Mantle of mercy, of the compassion of Elohim. Mantle of mercy, Yotalit of Rachamim. Mantle of mercy, the compassion of Elohim. Nachamu, nachamu ami, כה אמר האלוהים. Comfort ye my people, thus saith Elohim. Israel, Israel, you have risen from the dead, from the ashes of the Shoah. Amen. And the IDF will completely crack and crush those Islamic jihadists.
Yes.
Let me tell you, if Israel doesn't do it, it's going to be the same here.
Yeah.
So we need to pray, and we need to pray seriously to stand with Israel to defeat this horrendous terror network that comes all the way from Iran. It comes from Tehran. So, yeah, they want to use the atomic bomb, but truly what they're using right now is those terrorists. Do you remember that during Shavuot, which many call the Feast of Pentecost, we were leading a tour of Israel at the time, in the land, and we were doing portal work. In other words, we were praying on key portals throughout the land of Israel, closing demonic portals, opening, the portals that are connected with Abraham's different altars that he put in the land. And as we were doing that, we were at the portal at the foot of Mount Hermon. For those that do not know what that portal is, if you ever want to know what replacement theology looks like, you just come to me, to the portal that is at the foot of Mount Hermon. You're going to see that there is there is a Byzantine church from the 4th century, and inside of the Byzantine church there is an altar to the pagan god Pan, from which we derive the word pandemic, right, or panic. Here you go. And so this god is a hybrid, is a half fawn and a half man, okay? So it's a hybrid god. And inside of the altar of the Byzantine church, it's incorporated in the worship of the original Byzantine church, an altar to the Pan god and an altar to Jupiter. Not any altar to Jupiter, but one of the largest ones in the world. Well, the largest one in the world, and it was a Roman altar. It's a Roman altar. It's on the other side of the border in the area of Lebanon. And that place of the foot of Mount Hermon, that area is the area where most probably the events of Genesis 5 took place, where about the fallen angels mated with the daughters of Cain and bore the Nephilim. And therefore you will know, for example, in the parasha, the Torah portion of this week, that it talks about all the area of the Transjordan, or like over the Jordan River to the east, where about you have the 2.5 tribes, and the way that they possessed that land was because they dispossessed the giants that were in these areas, which is adjacent to the foot of Mount Hermon, right there where that most horrendous treason took place of the fallen angels with the daughters of Cain, most probably, that mated. So, you know, when we talk about these things, we need to understand that this is no legend. This is for real, honest, real. And you can see it all over the Torah portion, that these giants, when we talk, there were giants in the land. There were hybrids in the land. Those giants were hybrids between man and fallen angel, women and fallen angels. And there were also hybrids with animals, because some of them also mated with animals. You know how bestiality was forbidden in the Torah, and so you will have this god Pan that is a fawn, and you know, and a goat, half goat and half man. Why? Because they are hybrids. And I didn't say there were hybrids. I'm saying there are hybrids. Not there were hybrids, there are hybrids. The mating of fallen angels is still continuing until today, and it's some of the highest, not some of the highest, it's the highest goal of Freemasonry. The highest goal of Freemasonry is the mating of a choice woman with Lucifer himself for the purpose of bringing in the anti-Messiah. So they believe in it. They believe in it. The occult believes in it. The people of Satan believe in it. The New World Order believes in it. They practice the religion of Baal. Not to mention that in the games that open, you know, the summer games, if you don't know, in the UK, they had a big calf there, a big statue of a calf, and everybody with lights and everything worshiping and dancing around the calf. So that's total Baal religion. So it's happening all over. That which was under the ground is coming on top of the ground. It's coming above. Yah is exposing these things. But you know, that's good news. It's not that it wasn't there before. It's that it was hidden before, but now it's being exposed to the light. And that's great news. Why? Because everything that's exposed to the light can be targeted and removed. As long as it's hiding, you can do nothing about it. But once it comes up to the light, then the light takes care of it. And so even though it's not nice, it's not pretty, it's difficult, but we need to keep on praying, Lord, expose to the light everything that's hidden, because he said there was nothing that is hidden that will not be exposed to the light. And so anyways, I just told you all of these things because the idea of Satan of taking over the world continues, but the thing is that there is good news. He will take only one angel to bind him. The devil came to town and I wasn't at home. He helped himself to those whom he thought that I owned. He stirred up strife around and divided our ranks, allied with their minds and performed many pranks. up in the north. Haven't you heard the old blessing that when you are messing with me and my kind, whether body and mind, we possess all the gate of our enemies and become a light shining for all of mankind. Hallelujah. I will never give up. Come on. I will never give up. So devil, brace up, for the likes of my seed crush your head with much speed. Whether like it or not, one angel, only one angel, will chain you up in the north. And so I proclaim that song right now over our people that are fighting in Gaza right now. Hallelujah. That the likes of our seed crush his head with much speed. Praise the living Yah. And we possess the gates of our enemies. So we declare right now that Israel possesses the gates of our enemies. In Yeshua's mighty name.